Welcome back, everyone, to the Publiclir show, because it's really them that have been showing us all the goods, able to take that first map, 16-14, up against the ninjas. I know your ears, you don't need, well, you might need to clean them, but you're not mishearing me. Publiclir took the first map. Can they get the second? That's what we're here to find out. I'm Helium, and joining me again is Metuz.
Hey, man. I'm still trying to get over what I just witnessed. It's unbelievable. That is an upset. The question now is, can Publiclir go one better and win this map? They start on the CT side and NIP, of course, on T side. This is a map that NIP have been pretty solid on recently, but Publiclir put on a really good performance against Existence. So this could be another close one, Helium.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. Publiclir seems to like this map, and always really this is thought of as that aim-centric map. And Publiclir have shown us that they can aim. 2-on-3 right now. Freiburg moving in behind there, getting through mid, as A was pretty much just stormed straight up here by the ninjas, and that will leave Aw in a 1-on-3. He's got that armor. Doesn't look like he's too worried about saving it. He's going to go for this. Already gets one and bringing down Exist, but Freiburg is there. And you were telling me before this happened how Freiburg did against Titan on this map.
Freiburg was a revelation. He was a man on fire. Him and Get Right.
Denzel Washington confirmed.
Man, that movie's sick. I'm so glad you got that.
Good.
It is so
I didn't know
good.
if you're going for the Denzel reference, but
I wasn't actually, but I'm so glad that you brought it up because it's such a damn good movie. But anyway, he's going to be hoping, and I'm sure the rest of NIP will be, that this guy's going to entry frag to his heart's content, and then on CT side, also get the early picks. He's going to be pushing into mid. Zips is pushed very aggressively and gets the headshot on him. So Commentators curse once again. It looks as though NIP are going to be going for retaliation. Alu making a meal of that one, and he gets taken down, opens up with a UMP, and somehow Quicks returns fire on him, and Publiclir have the player advantage. NIP going for the plant, and now it's all down to the CTs if they can retake. They've got themselves a scout and an AK-47. This is going to be tough for NIP to hold on to.
yeah, indeed. Where is Aw? He's over on the truck. They still got those smokes down in the post plant. They're dissipating now. Get Right with the P90 though over at the forklift. Dangerous place for him to be, and he's gonna get two just like that. But by himself, 1 HP, dominate, watching his buddy type in the numbers, and he will defuse the bomb.
Man, this is crazy. That was two huge mistakes. First off by Freiburg, who was stood there completely unaware, did not hear Zitzer running at him. And then I've got to... I hate singling players out and really bashing on them, but Alu should never have missed that frag on forklift. He had a UMP against the CZ. He sprayed all 20-odd bullets and missed. And then Quicks was like, thanks, I'll just take down that kill. And now Publiclir are in a great position. They end up winning it. So that was... Oh, that was a real poor round for NIP, and they're going to be wincing after that body blow.
It looks like they're going to go for another set play. They've got a smoke that's going to bounce up into middle. Now the smoke's coming into the A site, and it'll be pistols running in, trying to get that bomb planted. It'll be Quicks as the first response, but he's going to peek right into a CZ that was forced close up. Almost grabs him, though, on a trade out through that smoke. They smoked the catwalk in between the forklift, the bomb site, and even the back of the site. So beautiful smokes, all 5 being thrown down here to take this site. It looks like they'll double up on quad, leaving one in the default plant. Aw moving through on this retake now. I mean, FAMAS to Freiburg, so this still can be dangerous. Will dominate, check close, he will. He gets down Alu. Now you gotta look into the quad. They find him, Get Right, the only man up. And he's far away. Might be able to bring in one frag still, but no. Lots of missed shots long range with pistols until Aw pulls out, well, the pistol equivalent of the AWP, that USP.
Well, not a terrible round overall for NIP. They were on full eco, they got a kill and a bomb plant, so kind of mission accomplished as far as they're concerned. That allows them to get full AKs and full grenades on top of that. 5 smokes, plenty of flashbangs. And although Get Right does have enough to pick up a HE, he decides against it. So NIP in a good position now to try and force forward. P90 on the side of Publiclir. Why are they going to be using that P90? It's mid. In vents. So this is one of the better places to use it, of course. It's close range, claustrophobic environment. But so far, nobody's broken the deadlock. NIP are still trying to get a pick. Desperate for information.
They got, who am I trying to look for here? Oh, Exists. Okay, I thought he was actually got to the outside, to the toxic barrels under what we call the Shroud boost in NA. But he's actually just inside A main, and Forrest is trying to work through the squeaky, so just the 2 A players there. The rest of NIP watching the push from B and trying to get that mid control with Freiburg up on the boost. And actually, he will find Zitta as Zitta peeks across the garage door. He's still up on that C crate there. Red box in middle.
Some spray across from Catwalk, and Forest will be taken down, that courtesy of Oz. Meanwhile, Quicks is moving into positions. Flashbang, smokes all around him. Get Right still lurking, and there is the spray. On to Dominate. That gives the T side the advantage. But look at that from Quicks, pushes through onto Forklift. Unfortunate timing for him, and he gets taken down instantly afterwards. That was a mistake from Oz onto Alu. A kill he really should have had, and now that bomb plant's going to go down, but there's he misses his opportunity as well. And now Publiclir are letting things slip. NIP pick up the second round.
Yeah, that was a extremely close round. Publiclir just, I mean, if they hit those shots. Well, if the first shot from Oz landed, that would have been right away a 2-on-1. Although I would have expected the trade to have happened, so probably would have brought it to that 1-on-1 situation. Where, you know, who knows, kind of really 1-on-1's like 50-50 at the high level. It's depending on HP, I guess. And maybe what nades you've got available. But either way, it'll go to the Ninjas. That'll tie it up 2-2. So what is Lincoln? Skins,
yeah, because the inventory thing's bugged, so everyone's got stock skins again. So nice. Rip skins, but not the CSGO lounge version. There's two frags.
Just trying to remind those 96% that skins aren't important.
We're coming for those skins, guys. We're coming for those skins. 3-3, but Exist and Forest both very, very low. Public luck. These are the kind of rounds they're clutching on Mirage. Let's see if they can go and do it once again. Minute to play with. And T's are going to use every second of this and try and catch Publiclir off guard. Exist looking towards Squeak. He does still get that kill, but my goodness, it was close. He is that player on 21 HP. Now NIP in the advantageous position. Can they do anything with it, though? They're playing this very slowly.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the bomb. Little did they know that they've more or less got an open A site. Oz is just coming up to the truck now to spot it out. Dominate playing B, so they do have the CTs split up at each site. So as long as they go together, it should be okay. They killed the real danger, which was Quicks. He had no armor, but he did have an A-King in his hands. But he was taken down as he was pushing, trying to get a little much, maybe a little too much information for his team.
Yeah, overextending and gets punished. And here comes a push in from NIP as both CTs move over to B, so the wrong call was made that day. But
yeah, that was a bit odd.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. If they just split up there and kept on one on each side, you know, they've got a much higher chance of winning the round. I can kind of understand where they're coming from, but they've lost both players. Exist through the smoke. Get Right onto Dominate, who was pushing from truck, and that is 3-2. But again, Publiclir taking Nip the distance. That was another kind of eco round from Publiclir, and this is quite interesting because the skins have reset. A lot of the Publiclir players who may have had an M4 silenced are now back to stock M4s. And if you only play M4S, there's a very different spray pattern. There's very different ways of playing these two weapons. That could be a pretty detrimental thing against Publiclir here.
Which seems surprising going on to Cash. There's so many nice ranges you can play. I guess they are just going to play those with the scoped weapon, with the op. And to be honest, like, the AUG is a really viable gun now, with it only being $100 more than the A1S. But yeah, everyone's switching up. Hoping to hold those choke points a bit stronger, maybe, with the 30 bullets. But already they find Exist, and it's Quicks that gets that early kill. And peeking out middle, it'll be him one more time. Doesn't even need any help. He had a friend there in the sandbags. Now it's maybe up to Get Right. He was looking for some picks over at B, but let's see if Publiclir are going to play a little bit more reserved than we saw Ninjas. Are they going to sit back, not give these peaks, not give the Ninjas a chance back into this round?
Yeah, that's exactly what Nip were doing on Mirage on their CT side. And it's also the same for the P2000 as opposed to the USP. There's quite a lot of differences between the two weapons. So again, the CTs definitely get the roar of the deals, but Alu with a headshot onto Quicks, who was on the truck. And these are the kind of peaks that really can prove so costly. Dominate's still there. He is going to see Forrest walk into his sights and puts him down with ease. 4v2, surely not. NIP can't get onto this site. They can't plant. There's just such a big stack from the CTs, but they line up for Get Right, and he gets both of them in the head. The bomb will be planted, and that's a 2-on-2, and this is winnable for NIP, or is it? Because there's Oz with one and a second, and he just about salvages it for his other two teammates that very nearly threw that round away. Jeez.
Well, I mean, It was almost hard not to line up. Publiclir had 3 people stacked right in there in the back of the bomb site, with the 4th guy rotating over. You know, all those people in that small corridor. You get right, peeks out, finds 2 lined up. I mean, still has to get the headshots, which were sick. I always love the lineup frags. But, I mean, Ninjas almost did it. Unfortunately, it'll be Publiclir to get another round here. So, I mean, a rocky start with just a whole lot of one-off wins. I mean, there's no streak bigger than 2 right now. Which means it looks like it's going to be a contested series, right? Cash one of the more even maps, kind of 8-7 either way. And you see a start like this, it's going to be a grueling battle, I think.
Yeah, and Publicler's T side on Mirage, for example, was pretty damn solid. So, again, it's not even a case on T side you're expecting them to falter. They could definitely step things up. But let's keep in the here and now. 7th round on the board, and we are jumping into the action onto A, which seems to be the place of choice for NIP, but they've lost the first casualty. It's Forrest who's been put down in Squeaky. Quicks on NBK spots, gonna get picked off from Freiburg, who gets a second with the Galil as well. Surely not. There's Alu as well, and NIP have the huge advantage. Get right sneaking in from mid, and now it's all on Or, who is in connector. My Get Right just smoked out. He's flashing. He's thinking that Or may be behind him. That's not the case, but Or has to stand in that smoke for now. If he pushes out, there's so many angles he could be shot from. And he may even think about saving this one, Helium.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea. Take a look at their money. They are poor. Even if he saves it, he's not going to be able to drop any of his teammates. But can still try to inflict some more damage here. Freiburg is very low down there at 5 HP, but he'll retreat out back towards middle. Let's see if they try to push him. If they try to get this kill after the round here for the Ninjas, or looking at their money, even it's not great. I think they're really going to want to hold on to these AKs. So that'll be that. They will all survive. Well, maybe peeking into that spray.
And that's one of the problems as well when it's been such a streaky map, when it's been backwards and forwards. Neither team really accumulates a huge economy. So in the save kind of rounds, neither team particularly wants to go for it because every weapon counts. And now you can see Public Luck going to be rummaging together and getting a force buy, including an MP9.
I almost don't agree with this.
I don't agree with that at all. Okay, if they're on eco, fair enough, I can see it. But against AKs and full Kevlar, no. I just don't agree with that at all. And he is one of the players that's left alive. 2 of his teammates have been taken down. Here comes Exist onto the jump spot, but he has won it. So, I mean, fair play. He's going to fall down afterwards, but still gets the MP9 frag. NIP have 4, and Public have 2. And this should be another NIP round.
Yeah. Still, they're going to want to do as much damage as possible, especially since it did force up. It's going to be a case where Publiclir, since that's almost like the bad part about doing that weapon. You save the M4 and you're like, oh, we got an M4, let's try to force around it, make something happen, but in reality, it's probably just better to, you know, try to have that M4 do some damage. Maybe push aggressive with it with some players behind you. Maybe stack 4 towards A, leave the M4 and B as the Lone Ranger to hold it down. Instead, they forced behind it, and now they're in a position where might only have to do with 1 eco, but I don't know, possibility for 2 in a row here.
Yeah. And again, I think that's a poor decision to go with the MP9. Often you'll see some teams will just save 1 weapon and they'll go for an eco, and they'll stack on CT side, say, we'll put the AK on B and the rest of us will stack A. So, yeah. Again, I'm not too sure about that call, and it has turned out it didn't work in their favour, and it's these kind of small mistakes that can really cost you huge at the top level. NIP now are looking for their 6th round. Dominate gets a nice dink on towards Freiburg. And there's Exist getting the frags onto A, watching for that main push. This is easy for NIPs you expect on an eco round, and they don't lose any players, which is pretty big for them as well, 6-3.
Yeah, now there's actually a sizable gap between the 2 teams in those 3 rounds, and the first time anyone's taken 3 in a row. Nip does it there, up against, well, everyone, you know, no head armor, but that's not going to matter against the AKs. The big thing here is no kits. So, like, if Ninjas are able to take a site, are able to get the bomb down, it's going to be a really tough situation for Publiclir to go on that retake. But maybe their aim will just, you know, trump that of the Ninjas, because it honestly has in a lot of the rounds.
Yeah, indeed. And they may be playing kind of a Titan-esque approach here, of almost allowing the site to get planted, but then having the perfect retake to come in afterwards. That being said, though, they have already conceded 6 rounds on their CT side. Far from ideal. It looks like they're going to concede the first play. Indeed, they will. Oz was completely caught in mid.
Oh
and
my
they get the opening 2 frags, so you can pretty much scratch that idea of retaking a site. And a 3-on-5. That's going to be very difficult to do. It's all on that man up and uppers. And that is Orc, and he's been tagged and forced backwards. Here's Forrest, there's a lovely one clip to the forehead, but Quicks quickly returns fire with a headshot of his own. Dominate from Truck chimes in. The bomb's been planted, and Quicks has only got 7 HP. And as you said, the aforementioned no defuse kits. They can't even afford to give this a try. They have to just go save those weapons.
So Nip at this point, they had run. Oh, and they can't save anything. Alu and Get Right both with those kills, but Nip has done this A execution with the smokes quite a few times. I mean, a lot of time, like you can only get that to work maybe once, and then maybe again a little bit later. But Ninja's had it work a few times in a row, and then this time when they throw all those smokes out towards A, the rotations, Publiclir bites on it. They're rotating to A. Suddenly, they switch gears. They go out middle. They go to B. So, you know, the set A smokes into the B fake. Kind of just, you know, your textbook stuff, I guess, coming out from the Ninjas.
Yep, and there is Freiburg once again, who's got another entry frag through mid. It was a save eco scenario for Zita, so it's not a huge surprise that's the case. But again, mid's been completely taken from NIP, and they're now going to encircle through on towards A. Quicks in Squeaky. He's been taken down, as is Oz. And this is just looking a bit too easy now for Nip. Maybe they have found their 5th gear, and they're just going for broke. 8th round, surely incoming. The bomb's been planted. And Or and Dominate, do you have anything left in your locker to prove a miraculous play is possible? I don't think so.
Well, he'd love to find a kill here and get a gun. And I hear that it dropped, so he'll be able to scoop up that AK. Hopefully he'll be able to save it this time. That'll be good to bolster that CT economy. It's in a bit of a rough shape since they're, I would say, kind of disastrous decision. And I don't remember what round it was. I think maybe round 7. I think that's the round that put Ninjas on this streak in the first place when they gave it up.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Because that quickly turned into 3 rounds, right? It was one mistake that cost them 3 rounds, which on
and now it's
CT
5.
side's huge. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know how much of this is. I may be completely shooting left field here, but I wonder how much of this is the concept of him typing in skins in chat, right? Because not only does that show that there's some. I know it sounds crazy, but let me explain. I know it sounds like excuses or whatever for Publiclir, but if they're going on tilt because they no longer have the silenced M4s and they're used to playing with that weapon, and they're also typing that to NIP, I just wonder if they're pressing that self-destruct button a tiny bit right now. Because they haven't looked the same kind of side.
I didn't even get to that point. So that's what they were saying, that they weren't able to switch to the A1S?
Yeah, because the inventory has gone down, I assume that Steam's having issues right now. Instead of having the M4S, they're on the M4A4, meaning they have the extra 10 bullets, but it's no longer silenced, it doesn't have the same accuracy or bullet spread. So I'm wondering how much that's playing on their mind. I now realize that because you didn't get that point earlier,
yeah,
I sound crazy when I was like,
I was trying to I was like, yeah, they're going for the A4, they're bringing it back, but now I get it. Yeah, that actually does, that blows, right? Because we've seen that they increased the price of the A1S, and then people are like, well, yeah, we know it's like way better, and you're trying to, you know, make it more expensive. Clearly, it's way better. Almost every single person uses the A1S. Maybe like 1 or 2 people on a team keep the A4 for like a choke point, or maybe you'll switch if you're playing Inferno. But yeah, that's kind of a crap situation.
If you're used to the S rather than the A4, it's quite a big difference to get used to again. I mean, I know these players are kind of towards the top level, and of course they've played with the A4 plenty of times, but it's shifting. And it's not just that, it's psychologically. Because he's typed that out, it suggests to me that it's bothering him and potentially the rest of his team. And it puts them in positions as well. If NIP start throwing smokes onto the site, doing these set pieces, one thing that the CTs can do is they can spray from the smoke, and it's very difficult for the Ts to know where the spray is coming from. It could be one of several different positions. Having the sound to accompany the spray, though, allows them to pinpoint exactly where you are.
You're going to be throwing tracers with your A4.
Exactly. So it all stacks up. It may sound like a crazy thing, but honestly, it's these small things that can make a huge difference in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I now that I'm on the same page, I completely agree with you. Because CS was being weird with me, right? Like, we had that delay in our first game, well, mainly because of a forfeit, but, you know, in that time, I'm like, all right, I'm going to hit a server, but I couldn't join anything. CS was down. It's sort of the aftermath, you know, patch day woes, I guess, since we did have, what is it, Operation Bloodbath? It didn't even get an extra violence mode. Like, I want gratuitous gore. That's all I'm saying.
Needs to be a thing, Val. Fix it, please.
I've been pushing for fatalities in CS:GO for a while now.
Oh man, as a huge MK fan, I would love to see that.
Just
happen.
in like a 1v1 clutch, it's just like insane dismemberment point of view. That'd be sick.
Well, speaking of which, this has been a pretty interesting round. A lot of blood and gore thrown across the server. 6 players have fallen. It's down to a 2-on-2. All 4 players have 100% of the HP and grenades to play with. So it's going to come down to that first pick, and it's more than likely going to go to Alu as he gets the first, doesn't get the second, but there is Forrest to answer the call of his fallen comrade. And that was around Publiclir desperately needed. 9 rounds already on T-side of cash. Looking pretty smooth sailing. They've got so much money to play with on top of that.
I like Dominate's attempt to get in there. I've been seeing that a bit recently. You don't go into the generator little alley and jump into the site. You just creep in and stay in front of the site box, and that other terrorist that's like holding checker or B main, like they really don't expect you to just be like there in the open, kind of in front of the site. But it doesn't work out because his teammate didn't find the kill coming out of vents, and then you're left in the open in a 2-on-1. It's tough stuff, as Publiclir will go for what we see on pistol rounds a lot. They're using it on their eco rounds, pushing 3 towards B, looking to get that information, trying to bring some people down. And they do, actually, right? They brought it to a 3-on-3 and Dominate now with the Deagle. Not quite a Juan Deag, but he does find the head of Forest at the end, and even lights up Exist a little bit more there. And guns in the hands of Publiclir, and that strategy pays off.
It does pay off for them. Exist does get a frag back, though, so this isn't lights out just yet for NIP in this round. It could very well be so now, but there is that man once again. Exist. No defuse kit, but it's not going to matter. This gives me a chance to talk about something. I'm not sure if you caught this, Helium, but I was laughing in the background. I apologise for that if it put you off. Freiburg tried a pop flash around the corner, failed it, flashed himself, then got killed. It was quite funny.
Was that a B?
Yeah, towards B. He kind of went, I'm going to pop flash and then peek and kill 2v. Oh, wait, I just flashed myself and I'm dead. Awkward.
Yeah, with the whole new, maybe not super new, but I've been noticing, the last couple months, just like the right-click hoppy pop flashes, and of course Molotovs being way more favored in the current meta. They're great, but sometimes you just like want to throw the best molly or best pop flash, and you just screw up and get killed while doing it.
Yeah, exactly. That's I think what happened. I'm not sure what they're saying in chat, but again, skins has been mentioned, so maybe it's clearly bothering them quite a lot. Quick, so
I do not speak Swedish, unfortunately.
Same. I wish
Bara
I did.
means good luck, have fun, I think, though.
I know the curse words, but that's about it. That's the first thing you learn in any language, though, isn't it, really?
Why would he put a 1 before that? 1 Bara. I don't know. I wanted to learn a little bit of Swedish just because, they're like the esports, the kings of esports, pretty much.
Yeah.
Along with Korea, which I did learn a bit of Korean. But either way, I think they were wishing each other a bit well there at the end of whatever they were discussing. But Lincoln, Wix.
Oh dear me. Orbs across the board doing work. It's going to be Exist trying to land that one. Doesn't connect it, and now Publiclir, who desperately need these last 2 rounds, have picked up the first one, and they're going to have the economy going forward. Go ahead and buy into this one as well. So it could be 9-6 at half-time. Wouldn't be ideal, but would be a hell of a lot better than NIP on double digits, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, 10-5 is about the worst that you're going to want to have to face on either side of Cash. But, I mean, similar to Dust 2, I feel like on Cash, you're never really out of it. Like, you can just hit your stride on either side, and you've got just as good of a shot to really lock it down and put a ton of rounds together. So we'll see what they can do. Some smokes being lined up here using that graffiti.
Yep, lining this one up. Lots of smokes going over. One onto catwalk, one to back of sight. There's a flash from Quicks, who's preemptively thinking, yep, the push is imminent right now, and that's going to stop them for a few more moments, but the entry frags are coming in nonetheless. They didn't want to check catwalk. It could be a huge position right now, but catwalk's done nothing, and he gets taken down. And on top of that, so is Forklift. There's a couple power plays there from Publiclir, but they just let them slip. I was thinking the guy on catwalk could have sprayed across, got himself a triple, and then Publiclir are walking into that second half at 9-6, but not the case.
Oh, baby, a triple. Didn't happen. I've been thinking, it seems ridiculous, and I'm not even sure it matters, but it's always a point I've entertained in my mind. You know when people are throwing, like, these set smokes where they're kind of bouncing, and the smoke's got to bounce 20 times before it lands? And with the nade collision the way it is in CSGO, like, what if you know the nades are coming? Can you just, like a footballer, just run in and head the smoke grenade out so that it doesn't land in the set position?
That should be a thing. They should include...
You can do it. I mean, you just got to know, because the player on Catwalk, the smoke almost hit him. If he had jumped up, then the end of Catwalk, the smoke wouldn't have been there, and he could have had that standard cat position. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it. I need a friend to try it with me.
It'd be pretty awesome if you could catch it and throw it back again. Well, that would be
maybe that's maybe a little
territory.
too far, but
yeah.
I'm all about ruining some set smokes.
True. We are going to be jumping onto the role reversal now. Publiclir on T side. Looks like they're going to be pushing B very quickly here, but 3 CTs moving into close proximity, and they could be walking into a trap. And it's Forest. And Alu coming through from the vents, gets one, looking for a second as well, does get it, so that's 2 huge frags for him, and now Freiburg from the back of the site is going to be making short work of Publiclir. No, somehow Oz is still alive. Could be trying to get a headshot here onto Freiburg, and if this lands, there's every chance the T's could walk onto the site and plant, but the CTs have moved round and exist now from CT side. He's going to be putting bullets to faces. There we go, Quicks is dropped, and so is Oz, and there you have it. NIP pick up the first round on the CT side.
Yep, great way to start things off for them, and we'll see some submachine guns coming out here. FAMAS, and I'm interested to see, I mean, Ninjas then should be stuck also on the A4 when they get to the rifle rounds. See how that affects them, perhaps. I'm not sure what they, like better, if it's the A4 or the A1S.
The thing is with NIP, because they've been playing for so long, and at one point the M4A4 was definitely preferred, I wonder if it will really affect them as much as it would Publiclir. That's a lovely 1D though from Quicks as I'm speaking, but there's the boost up from Alu. He gets taken down from the Tech 9. Pretty nice start actually from Publiclir here. And they've got the MP9 onto their hands of war. And that's a lovely headshot onto GetRight, who was trying to come out from mate. NIP do get a frag back, and there's the P90 doing work onto Dominate. I'm not sure why he'd repeat that, to be honest with you. And that cost him his life.
And now Freiburg coming up there towards Z. That'll be a second kill with the FAMAS. Exist just jamming in that clip to resume firing with this P90 as Awe pushes out now to 9 HP and jumping out with a P90. Good movement accuracy, tons of bullets, and only needed to hit him once.
Well, I was wondering if this would be a close map. It's looking like it could be slipping away from Publiclir after that valiant attempt on Mirage where they did win. So if you just joined us, 16-14 was the first map.
All right, they've got
fantastic.
They've got their A1Ss out.
Ah, I see. The skins must have they come back? I
don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'll ask actually. I got a lot of the Publiclir guys on my friends list. Humble brag.
Alu's got his Basilisk back, so I'm pretty sure the skins.
Yeah, so maybe it just fixed itself. I can ask them actually though before we get out of this. Maybe what that problem was with the A4s. Or lack of A1Ss. But here they go, trying to get out of the smoke. It'll be Exist here, pinned down in the site, gonna find 2 just like that. P2K pulled out, finds the third one with the help of GetRight.
Man, if the skins have fixed themselves, that's gonna be even more denting for Publiclir. That's gonna put them on tilt potentially even more. It's like
Illuminati.
Yeah, Illuminati confirmed, right? They're against us. Everyone's against us. So, Publiclir, they're gonna have to dig deep here. They're gonna have to show a lot of resilience, a lot of bravery to bounce back. They've got themselves 4 AKs, make that 5 now. And with this full buy, they're going to be hoping they can start to pick up some rounds. 13-5 in NIP's favour. You do not often see them lose from positions like this.
Yeah, definitely not. So they'll be able to get probably the map here, map 2 cash. Publiclir, though, with their rifle round, this is where they can make a stand moving into round 19. And you've got them just looking. Dominate way back there watching the A main push. They've already got Zita on the boost, so if they get a pick A, they can easily take that mid control behind it. Or if it gets, maybe if A gets shut down, they can quickly drop off, switch to B. But there is someone under the drop, but that's GetRight with the P90 still. We've seen the submachine guns lingering into these rifle rounds, actually, in all the games that we've cast today.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think you're going to see a lot more of it as well coming up. But the T's are really not doing too much right now. They're just petering out, trying to find out what anyone is. But look at this position from Exist. He was up on the knockers all along, and he gets 2 kills. But more importantly, he has the information. And now he can tell the rest of his team, okay, the bomb was in main, and now you can start to snake around behind him, and it's all on Quicks. It's him or bust. He's been flashbanged, and there's the entry that they were looking for. And the frag goes in for NIP. Did I just press the wrong button? I think I did.
Well, you didn't mute yourself because I heard all of that. I'm not sure what you
Dot
were
ready for some reason just got put in chat. GG
Oh,
well
you
played.
hit your bind.
Scrubcaster confirmed HLTV.
I didn't even see it. Yeah, I see it's in the chat again about the Colts. Colton is M4, and I got a
Yeah.
double confirmation. I asked the sixth man / gonna be the solid fifth, I think, of Publiclir, and he said yeah they couldn't use the skins. And then someone translated the previous conversation to me on Twitter. Said, "Do you have skins? We don't have our Colts." Was
it's
that
brutal.
translation? So that is pretty rough.
It really is. It really is.
And I think Oz is joking about the price. Den cost 3,200. The other cost 3,100. But oh well. I don't know. I think we're just using humor now because the ninjas, I mean, with whatever leeway they had, were able to just steamroll after the first the rocky start, right? Up until round 7 is where it really got rough. And also, now that I think about it, maybe that's the reason they went for the Force in the first place. Like, maybe they didn't even want to use the A4s, and they went for those MP9s in that forceful round that ended up losing them 6 in a row.
It's a good point. They may have been thinking, okay, can we get some AKs from them? Because we're much more comfortable with those weapons. So, but you know, at the end of the day, the real top teams are able to adapt to any situation, any circumstance that's against them. So I can't really use it an excuse for how Publicly got dismantled on their CT side as we're talking. A couple frags have been exchanged, one apiece. But there's no doubting that it threw them on tilt a tiny bit. You wouldn't type in all chat to the enemy unless it was bothering you. That's clear enough. Exist has got a frag though. And the T's find themselves a player behind. That's a lovely shot though from onto Forest, who is peeking out of B. Info passed across, but the bomb's been dropped. So they're not going to be able to get this bomb plant anytime soon.
Yeah, 3-on-3 right now, so Publicler's still trying to hold on. And that 10-round deficit, playing all for the tide right now, but Oz back onto that AK, finding a 3 kills on this round, and a shot. Some shot's going to be missed over there in middle. Get right rotating back, shuts down, well, I would say the lurk, but the bomb is actually down and still geared towards A, so it's kind of just, you know, Publicler lost a bit of control when it went to the 3-on-3 bomb in a position where it was not easily grabbed, and Oz is just, at this point, fighting his way out. He's turned this into an aim map, but that Molotov is going to take him down.
Ugh.
Nip throwing the molly at the tree. They hate nature, confirmed.
Well, dominates all that remains, and that really was like a heads you win tells. I lose situation. If he stays the molly, he's dead. If he peeks, he's dead. But look at that from Dominate. That is a beautiful headshot to get right. And if he can go ahead and do that again onto Exist, he may give them another lifeline. Make no mistake, though, they are well up against it. It would be a mountain to climb. It would be a Herculean throw if Nip lose from this position. But maybe this is the first round. He just turns to his right-hand side. Exist has no idea he's on quad. Didn't even check it. And he gets punished. So Public need 9 more rounds in a row just to take this to overtime.
This is my PSA for cash players in a 1v1. So if you know, like, you're in a 1v2 as a terrorist, you kill the guy in A. Like, pretty likely the other guy's in B, so you can plant wherever you want. It works, from what I've seen, almost every single time. You plant where the bomb was just now for A main, and then you just play post-plant in quad. And the player is always going to be looking A main, and you just step out and you shoot him. Words to live by.
That's what Exist just experienced.
Yeah.
Just found out the worst possible way, how that works. And again, it's back to the drawing board for Publicler, who... well, can they salvage this? It's so unlikely, especially as Exist is doing work. Get right with 2 kills. And they are circling the drain. It's all on Quicks, and he doesn't survive for long. 16-6 to NIP, but 1-1 overall. Publicler, they didn't get smashed. We were expecting a 2-0, and they held fast on Mirage.
Yeah, they looked incredible on Mirage. They looked even good at the start here of Cash, making, you know, Nip really, really fight for a foothold in the first half. And then once they found it, Nip was kind of able to just, you know, hold them down. And they just took off, winning, what was it, 16-6 at the end? So winning by 10 rounds right there. And I mean, even a little bit of a conspiracy going into this match, right? It's not much you can do when, you know, the Valve servers or whatever, inventory servers kind of screw up and took away the guns that they are used to using. All 5 of them, I was told, are A1S players, so not a single one of them opts for the A4 at all. So you know that had to affect them a little bit. My solution which I guess was tough since the rounds were so back and forth, is go for the AUG, because that gun is freaking insane. But again, still not going to be as, formidable with that AUG. It's still a different weapon they might not be used to. So kind of a crappy situation that they ran into, but can keep their heads high because they did take a team off, or a map off of one of the best teams in the world. So.
Oh yeah, who were unbeaten in the CEVO Pro League up until that point, as you mentioned. So that in itself is, it's a pat on the back. It's not just the Silence M4 though; it's also the USP. So even in pistol rounds and eco rounds, they may have been feeling the pinch a tiny bit, because a lot of players do prefer the USP for the same reasons as the M4. So it's just kind of a double whammy, honestly. But again, that was a pretty solid performance overall. NIP looked shaky on Mirage, but they came back very strong on Cash. Their T side was very, very good indeed. So 1-1, I think, is a fair score overall.
Yeah, and my last point before we head out for a break is that I actually just wish they would take away the inventory swapping. Let yourself buy both M4s, and there's an extra slot on the pistol.
Yeah.
Like, just put it in there. I don't know. The inventory thing is kind of weird.
I totally agree
as a design decision. But either way, guys, that's all we got here for EU. Publiclir put on quite a show, and I even enjoyed the first series there with Recursion looking really, really strong a bit against the slightly more known team C-Play, also on Mirage. So if you joined us for both on mlg.tv/playcevo, big shout out to you. Make sure to go hit the new patch. Operation Bloodhound is out. Some of the maps are okay. None of them really for competitive, besides obviously, veteran map Season coming back into the fray.
So Haley, would you say Rails is a fantastic map?
I would say that aesthetically and as a nice piece of art or whatever you want to go for, it's sick. But as a map, no. For playing it competitively, it is garbage. Season obviously we know is really good. Was a popular map in Source. Resort, I think, is the only one that's even competitively viable, and it's loosely based on CPL Fire. You can kind of tell if you're in the middle area, but kind of the characteristics end there. But I don't know, man. The maps are really fun to just mess around on, but I wouldn't really expect to see any of them hitting that the major map pool.
Yeah, Zoo gives me a headache, by the way. That map's insane.
The what? Which one?
Zoo.
Zoo is nuts. That map is freaking gorgeous, but like, it's a zoo. It's like literally a zoo. Like, you will get lost. Like, you've got no idea. It's large. It feels like it's so big. It's like 2 maps. Like, you could almost have a competitive just on A site and like a competitive map just on B site.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's, I guess, our breakdown of the Bloodhound patch so far. I'm loving the new the rank up system, like the XP bar for drops. That's pretty cool. Similar to what Dota had until they took it away, and then CSGO gave it back to us. So that's kind of a cool change. But the information that maybe you guys want more is North America is coming up next. That'll be, 8 p.m. Eastern. That'll be 0200 CEST. Team Liquid versus Nihilum. That'll be pretty sick, actually, as still North America battles it out to see who is the best, along with Cloud9, I suppose. And then Affinity versus Lunatic. After that, Affinity has actually been looking really good recently, so make sure to come back. It won't be us. Some other casters here for CEVO. I'd guess it'd be like Luca, Dust later or someone like that. But, oh well. If you want to support us, you can. I'm Helium at Heliumbrella. Meta's here, new to the CEVO crew, at Meta's TV, I do believe.
Correct, yep.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for sticking around with us, and peace out.